Talk. Talk. Talk to me Tuesday. Hey there, and welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday on a Tuesday. I'm your host, Madi B. With everything going around us, we're doing a very special show. We have illnesses, tough topics, sad news, hard times, and we're just going to liven up the mood today. We have such a special guest named Tosh, who is a bartender, mixologist, however you want to put it, but she is good at what she does. So go in the kitchen and set the video because we will be showing you pieces and recipes on how to piece everything together in a drink format today. So I want to welcome Tosh.
How are you doing, guys?
Hey there. So we're going to talk a little bit about yourself. I know some people are on the show today to kind of hear who the winner is for heroic behavior. So just hold off tight. We're going to do it after we have a couple of drinks at the on our kitchen, right? So Tosh, tell us a little bit about yourself and the business and the line of business that you're in right now.
So right now I am freelancing. I used to work in restaurant bars. I've worked in speed bars. Worked in a hotel for my main job was engineering, but I also worked with the banquet side and would do bartending for their events and whatnot, which is completely different from a restaurant. It's very more so structured and simple, which was really cool because, you know, it's easy money. But everything was a blast. Everything has its pros and cons. You get to sit and chat with people at restaurants and at the hotels and whatnot. And then with the speed bar, it's the adrenaline. You're just going.
Wow.
So like I said, everything it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So we're going to see a little bit of that speed side that you have, because I know second half of the show, we're going to uncover some of your favorite drinks. So tell our viewers right now, where exactly are you located?
So right now I'm in New York. I came up here on some other business. I do modeling on the side. I also do front of the camera, behind the camera. I also have a side business, which is sawdust and wood chips, and it deals with wood, glass, all sorts of mediums, custom projects, whatever you come up with. I will do my best to bring your creation to life. But my home state is Texas. So I don't know if I'm in the transition right now, but if you need me, I'm there.
Awesome. So it sounds like you are a jack of all trades. You do a lot of stuff. All over, you know, they are kind of engineering. You were talking about modeling, bartending, all the stuff, which is awesome. So we might have you on other shows talking about other topics if you're willing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I'm here if you need me. I love it.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and just get to know you a little bit better about your bartending world and how, you know, your journey has began and where it began and all that good stuff. So let's begin a little bit by uncovering what got you started in becoming a bartender. What did you like about bartending that you just got in the mix?
Honestly, it was the creativity of it. I always thought it was super cool before I drank. Just the creativity, like I said, it's so many different flavors that you can put in, from simple things such as just one flavor to doing the whole mixologist and actually being like a mad scientist with things, making stuff smoke, setting stuff on fire, mixing stuff that you wouldn't think to put in alcohol. Like there's just so many different things that you can do with alcohol, also with non-alcoholic drinks. So what I'm going to make today can also be non-alcoholic, guys. But yeah, I started as a barback, which basically what I always say is the best bartenders used to be barbacks because they understand what it takes for the barback to do their job. If you don't have a barback, and those are the people that get your lemons, your limes, all your fruits, they fill up your ice, they wash your glasses, they take your trash out, replace it, They are the backbone of the bar. Without them, they can't function, because otherwise the bartender is going to be too busy doing all the side stuff and not making your drinks. And nobody wants that, right?
Yeah.
But so that's what I started in. And then when I moved to the restaurant, started as a server, and then eventually moved to being a bartender. Now, a lot of people always ask, do you have to go to bartending school? You don't. I literally learned in 15 minutes over the course of 3 days how to do this. It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of taste testing your drinks. You have to have a passion for it. That's what I always say. It's kind of like in the kitchen when somebody cooks you a meal and you can tell they didn't really want to, it doesn't taste so good. But if a bartender takes pride in what they do and they have a passion for it, then the drink's going to be phenomenal every time.
Yeah, it's just in liquid format, right? That's the only difference. It's like a cook, but on the liquid side. So
exactly.
I like to say mixologist because it's exactly what you're doing. You're mixing a bunch of stuff and kind of trying not only liquid form, but you also are doing like the fruit and stuff like that. So let's talk about the viewers right now. Some of the viewers are saying, I want to be a bartender. A lot of them, love to do that or go in a bar environment and think it's a great place. Now, you kind of touched a little bit about your training that you got. Not everyone could probably do it that quickly like you did. But let's talk about what maybe others that maybe can't grasp it as fast, their training needs to look like. Or do you have to have some type of certification? How does this work?
Right. So, real quick, just to clarify, I didn't learn everything in 15 minutes. I learned the basics. And a lot of it you can learn on YouTube. Don't waste your money going to bartending schools. Please don't. It's all flashy and you don't need that, because a lot of times, again, people just want their drinks. But as far as, again, bartending school, you can go. You might learn some different stuff that might take a short amount of time than learning over the course of a year. Tabc for Texas. Not sure what it is for other states, but Texas does require you to have your Tabc license as well as a food handler's license. Now, your Tabc license, you have to have that. If you do not have that, you can go to jail. You can be fined. You'll lose your job. There's a whole lot of complications and consequences that you'll get if you don't have that. So it's very important. It's super cheap. It lasts for, I believe, it's either 2 or 4 years. But yeah, do yourself a favor, get that before you even go to apply, because they're not going to hire you if you don't have it. But it teaches you the Texas rules as far as serving, the things to look out for on IDs, all that kind of stuff. So it's very valuable for you if you want to become a bartender.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great knowledge that you're letting us know. And look, you just said something great. You can even learn from YouTube. We're kind of on this platform right now, not just teaching, but just making it a fun show. Now, a lot of things are at your fingertips, like this show. So you can definitely learn. Of course, you're going to have to practice and do trial and error, like you stated. But the knowledge is out there. So how long have you been bartending, Tash?
I've been bartending now for about, I want to say 6 years, 7 years.
Nice.
That's within from the hotel to the restaurant to speed bars to independent. It's been about 6-7 years.
Okay. So now I know you kind of mentioned, mixing drinks and just being in the kitchen, but the liquid format, all that good stuff. Do you also do fun tricks? Like, I've been to bars before and they do the fire. Like, have you tried stuff like that?
No, I haven't tried the fire thing yet. I did a really cool, they call it an alien brain hemorrhage. And it's layering. So it's got to do with putting the right liquor in at the right time and then dropping that last thing down the center, which makes everything look all weird.
Oh.
But no, a lot of people think that I'm doing a whole lot when I take the tin and do that. But it's literally just flick of the finger. But it looks flashy if I'm moving fast.
Yeah.
So, but no, I don't think so many of the tricks.
That's some of the tricks. It looks like tricks to us, but you're kind of telling us our secrets. It's not too much of a trick. It's just literally flicking the finger, which is
now some people
awesome.
Some people do incredible things. I will say that, but I'm not one of them.
And please, if you guys are watching right now, we definitely do not recommend that you try that at home. That's something after years of training, that's definitely something that you want to do then, because fire, especially in the household like where you're at now, it's obviously not where you want to try it, etc. So now I kind of want to be honest now and a little bit transparent, Tosh. So
Okay.
Now, with COVID being around, since predominantly the whole year, minus one of not 2 months, it has affected a lot of businesses and entrepreneurs like yourself. So just being transparent, how has it affected you and your line of business?
It really makes you think about how passionate you are about something. Because now it's not just all these businesses are open and they're constantly hiring. It's you being a go-getter and saying, okay, I really want to bartend. Let me go out and search and put my fingers in stuff and keep my ears open, my eyes open, scouring pages on this social media. You have to be really proactive if you really want to be successful this day and age. And because so much is virtual now, these are opportunities that are here and there. But when you're in somebody's home or you're doing making batches and selling them, again, you have to be very careful with that because you have to be licensed. You have to make sure that you're not serving to a minor. There's a lot of gray area that you can get mixed up in, and it can actually hurt you. So you have to be very diligent. You have to do your research. And like I said, just be passionate about it because otherwise you're not going to find anything.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think if the passion's not there, you definitely don't execute exactly what you've put all your time, money, blood, sweat, and tears, all that good stuff. We do have a live comment, and this is from Darren. Darren saying, Tosh, it's all about the hustle. Love it.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Yes.
And here in the city of hustle, like you can feel it.
Exactly.
So I had stuff shipped over from Texas just so I could make sure that I could keep doing my woodwork. And I went to the store and I made stuff today just so I could do this because, again, you have to have your hustle. You have to be passionate about it. So I absolutely agree there.
Yeah. And then right now, you're actually right now in the middle of a hustle and bustle city, New York City. I mean, that's hustle town right there, too. So there's a lot of creative juices around you, especially being in New York. Now, COVID has forced, like you just mentioned a little earlier, it's forced many people to get creative in their business and services. So tell us how you've had to get creative or what you've already done. I know you kind of mentioned a couple of ideas, but it gets a little tricky. It's almost, you said, do your research because you just never know if it could just bite you in the butt later, right? So how have you already kind of execute some of those creativities?
Well, one of my friends actually has started doing some drinks and they asked me, hey, how do you do this? Or what should I do with this? And I was like, okay, well, if you do A, B, and C, then this will work. Okay, try this. Now switch this up with this. So it's a lot of communication and really networking and all that kind of stuff. You have to, like I said, you have to search. You have to search to get creative. And whether it's going on Pinterest or watching Food Network, which I take a lot of that and put it into my drinks. And then just kind of doing fun videos here and there, like show yourself sipping on something cool and make that public so that not only your friends can see it, and also use your friends and use your connections and say, hey, share this for me so that my reach gets bigger. Yeah. It's a lot of give and take, but it's finding inspiration, whether you're walking down the street, sitting at home, flipping through social media, something you see on TV. You have to find it. You have to if you want to be creative.
Yeah. And speaking of creative, tell our viewers how you put that same creativity in your drinks. When you're talking, I'm kind of hearing like you're like almost like a chemist. Like you put it's an equation, right? You put A, B, and C. Okay, take off C, put D. Like it's crazy. I'm just gonna be honest. I just try one combination, and if it doesn't work, I'm like, I'm still drinking it. Okay, so I don't want to be wasteful. But tell us how you put that same creativity on some of your drinks. I don't know what your most creative drink has been.
Oh, geez.
Ooh.
I've had a lot of creative drinks, and some of them had to do with adding syrup to fresh peaches to like there's a honey peach bourbon that I'll make with honey and a bourbon maple syrup. And then it goes to infusing simple syrups, which I know the simple syrup industry is probably going to hate me, but it's sugar and water. That's it. Sugar and water. You can make it in your kitchen. Super easy. But I would take that and put basil leaves in it, or oregano or thyme or sage or whatever, just to make these different infusions. And you can do that with alcohol too. Vodkas take really well because they don't really have a taste. They have an alcohol taste, but they don't smell like anything. They don't taste like anything. So that's why flavored vodkas, you really get the flavor in those vodkas. It's fun. It is kind of like being a chemist and just kind of creating stuff. And the stuff that you don't really like, that's really hard to sip on, I always put it to the side and make those shots. So you don't have to sit there and taste it. Just shoot it, you get your buzz, and you're good to go.
Yeah. So let's talk about those liquors. I know there may be viewers on here that don't drink, and that's fine. But I kind of just want to uncover a little bit more of the research that you've done on the liquors. Like a lot, it sounds like some of them have different palates on the finish, or certain things mix well with certain type of liquors. How have you learned all this? Like, did you just learn by tasting, or, there's a lot of science behind the alcohol?
There is. It really is a craft. I never want to take away from any bartender and say, oh, they're just a bartender. No, it's really a craft, especially when you get into mixing different flavors. Like I said, vodkas don't really have a taste, so it's really easy to add some lime to it and you're good to go. You can even sip on it. Rums tend to be a little sweeter, which I like mixing, especially for people that don't really care for alcohol taste too much, because it's easier to mask it. Especially the flavored rums. Those can be really sweet and just add to whatever juices you're putting into it. Then you have your whiskeys, your bourbons, your scotch, your blends. The darker liquors can be it can be a little more difficult to mix those and create different flavors because it's such a strong and potent flavor to begin with.
Yeah.
But if you mix them with the sweetness, which is why in old fashions they have cherry and orange. And with that honey peach bourbon that I was talking about, it's the sweetness mixed with that hard bourbon that really makes a nice blend. Jack and Coke, the sourness from the Jack, and then you get that Coke taste. It meshes so well, and it's a crowd favorite. But it's a lot of trial and error. When I worked at one of the restaurants, there was a plethora of alcohol and different flavors and kinds and all that kind of stuff. So people would come in and they would say, I don't know what I want. So I would ask them two questions. Give me a liquor and give me a fruit or a flavor that you're trying to go for. All right, I want watermelon and vodka. All right, that's pretty simple. So from there, I can get creative and make something that they can't necessarily get everywhere, which also brings them back to me. And then also just something that they're really going to enjoy and maybe go home and try.
Yeah, you're really smart. You want to hook your clients, right?
Exactly.
Come to you. I love that. And look, I'm very guilty of that. I've been to places where friends have said, okay, what we're going to order. And I'm like, just something fruity. You probably hate people like me, right? Because just normally you just know what your palate wants. Now, I really commend you because the alcohol, some of them are created in certain barrels and distilled, and all of that makes a huge difference in the taste. So you as a bartender kind of need to know how it was done, finished, if it has a little bit of a burn taste versus, I mean, I've kind of smelled a couple and I'm like, this is a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of liquor out there, which is crazy. The knowledge that you have.
Yes. It's a lot of fun. So what you were saying with the different smells and the different very distinct tastes and the barrels that they're in, I'm a Scotch drinker. So the Scotch that I love is from the Isle of Islay. And in Ireland, there's different sections that make the Scotch. So you're only going to get the kind that I drink in this section. And then you have that section that makes a different kind. And this section is more peaty. So it just depends on what kind of flavor you're going for. But the kind that I like is smoky. So it's almost like, do you range from just a little bit of smoke from like, if you're sitting at a picnic and someone's barbecuing over there, then you might get that little like breeze to like the wood chips in the grill itself. So like the smokier, the better for me. But you have to learn your liquors. And if you're lucky enough to work at a place that gives you the chance to taste things, I would get a shot glass and just pour it just enough to hit my lips so I understood what it tasted like before I put it in the drink. So I don't want to mix scotch and watermelon, but I'm not going to know that if I don't know what it tastes like. So that's another thing. Taste your liquors, taste your drinks before you give them to anybody. It's very, very important.
Yeah. So any of you viewers out there, make sure you taste before you mix. That's definitely very important. We do have a couple of comments. We have Dennis saying hello from Los Angeles. So hey, Dennis.
What's up, LA?
Yeah. So we have also Chriselle saying hi, Tosh. We have used Tosh for several private events. Amazing bartender, super creative in mixing flavors, and of course, making everything fun.
Hey, Chriselle, I miss you guys.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I do want to ask you, are you the bartender that makes up most of your recipes, or do you do more the traditional recipes of the drinks, or maybe both?
I do both, honestly. So again, that comes into play when people come in and say, I don't know what I want. That's my chance to say, okay, I can get creative with everything. And then you have those people that come and say, you know what, I just want a margarita. I just want an old fashioned. I just want a rum and coke. Okay, cool. Here you go. It's going to be the best rum and coke you've ever had in your life. Put passion behind everything. But,
yeah, that's the way to do it.
I do rather enjoy making my own recipes and playing with flavors and all that kind of stuff. And again, like I mentioned earlier, Food Network has really kind of like gotten to my ear, and I fall asleep watching it and watch it throughout the day, different shows. And it kind of meshes because of the challenge that they give them. Okay, here's 5 random things. Make it work. So I have to turn around and say, like, okay, I've got A, B, C, and D. How am I going to make this into a delicious drink? So
yeah,
you can look around your house and whatever liquor you have, I promise you have something in your pantry or something in your fridge that you can make a really good drink with. It's just playing with flavors.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're in your best element when you just have full free range. Like, give me a drink, right? Now,
Absolutely.
in private events, do they have like a request to where you do a signature drink? I know for weddings, for instance, they do the bride's drink or the groom's drink. Do they do that to where you have to kind of think out or know their liking so that you can come up with the best recipe to give their guests?
Yes, absolutely. What I like to do, if that ever comes up, I like to either have a conversation with the person that's asking, kind of get to know them, or have a conversation with the event planner who should know the person who's asking, and just kind of get a feel for what their palate is like, different fruits that they may like. If there's a theme, then I try to make something that goes with that theme. I did a grand opening for a cigar lounge. Mm-hmm. And of course, usually you pair cigars with bourbons, whiskeys, and scotches, and the darker liquors. You can pair them with lighter as well, but usually it's with the darker liquors. So that's where I kind of came up with that sweet bourbon whiskey kind of drink, and took a spin on an old fashioned and all those different kind of things. So for Chriselle's birthday, I bartended for that as well, and it was Latin themed. So I did a whole bunch of different kind of margaritas and different flavors and different garnishes, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice. So whenever you guys book Tosh for your next event, you guys can go ahead and challenge her and tell her, please, I want this type of signature drink. Yes. And we're actually going to challenge you today too. But before we do that, I think it's very important. Bartenders have very different type of clients. You have the clients that know what they want. You have the clients like myself that I don't know what I want. And you hear also some interesting and funny stories. So tell us a little bit about your clientele, and then like the type of things that you've kind of dealt with. If there's anything funny, or I don't know if you had to kick anyone out or anything like that, we're interested.
Honestly, as a bartender, if you've never had to kick anybody out, you're not doing your job right. And whether that's you serving them, whether they're coming from another bar, it's you being responsible, saying, all right, you've had enough to drink. I'm sorry. Sometimes they understand and sometimes they don't. So it's a give and take kind of thing. But the clients I've had regulars at one of the jobs that I've had that still ask me, am I working anywhere? And I absolutely love them. One person came in and all he drank was Bud Light. That's it. Bud Light draft. And from the second I poured him his Bud Light draft and he saw me how I was working and interacting with guests, he kept coming back. And until I stopped working at that place, he would keep coming back. And just a really good guy, military, from New York. So we had a whole bunch of stories that were always fun to listen to. You get so many people of different walks of life, whether it's a bum off the street that just found $2 on the sidewalk and came to get another light, or you get millionaires that come in and just want a simple beer or a simple gin and tonic. But that's one thing that I love about bartending is you meet all sorts of different people and you get those stories. And honestly, sometimes I take those stories and I put them into drinks. And it's such a challenge and it's so much fun. Like from the funny stories to the sad stories, when you're a bartender, you're a mother, brother, sister, father, therapist, best friend. You're everything. Because people come to talk to you, especially when they start drinking, they want somebody to talk to. So again, if you're going to be a bartender in a sit down setting, that's another quality you have to have is customer service on top of just being personable and really wanting to listen to people.
Yeah. Look, you're in the industry of customer service. You have clients.
Right.
So being a people person is definitely super important. It's great that you're very passionate about your clients too. So passionate that you even put it in a drink. I think that is awesome. It says a lot about yourself too. And so now I kind of want to open it up to you, Tash. Like if you had to pick your favorite drink to make, what would you say?
I don't know. I don't really have a favorite, to be honest.
I'm surprised.
Okay. My personal favorite is Scotch to glass.
Okay.
But as far as mixing, I don't know. I can't really say that I have an absolute favorite. Margaritas are always a classic. Getting the chance to make a real old-fashioned is always a plus. Because that's somebody that really enjoys drinking. It's hard to get the perfect old-fashioned. It can't be too sweet, can't be too much bourbon. Like it's very special. From Moscow mules to just everything. It's a lot of fun. Anything that I can be creative with, those are my favorite drinks to make.
That's awesome. Now today you actually picked some drinks, and obviously you picked some of your top 2, if not your signature drinks that you want to make here live on the show.
Yes.
So we're going to be on here and we're going to learn, all of us. So I encourage all of you guys to take this video, go to your kitchen so that way we can make this together, or even take a screenshot of the recipe because I think it'd be great that you can make this at a later time. Now, all of these drinks, Tosh, I just want to clarify for our viewers that may not be drinkers, cannot drink, or may not be of age. Can all these drinks be made without alcohol?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. We do have a comment here saying, Maria said, what kind of drink would you make with a mango flavor? I don't know if you have one up your sleeve.
Actually, I do. I'm getting ready to show you.
Okay. So Maria, you just have to hold tight because we will be showing you here some drinks or a drink with mango flavor. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one. So tell our viewers right now that are in the kitchen right now, what do they have to pull out of their pantry, if not refrigerator?
Okay, so for the first one, it's going to be mango, sriracha, or any hot sauce. Sriracha has a very distinct flavor, which is why I enjoy using it. Mango, sriracha, lemonade, and honey. So you're getting a mix of the sweetness with the fire. So I call this one the Sweet Fire Martini.
Okay. So you guys kind of heard sriracha or a hot sauce. You said lemonade, honey, mango. If they don't have, let's just say mango, and they have a different fruit, can this be substituted with a different fruit?
Absolutely. That's the beauty of bartending. You can substitute whatever you want to get your different flavor profile. So
if you're a pineapple person, if you have that, you got to let us know. You got to try it out. But today we're going to do it with mango. So let's go ahead and get started. And while Tosh is getting started, guys, I want you to go pull your martini cups. Get that ready. Oh, look, there you go. You had a martini cup all ready to go. And we'll kind of get the process from Tosh. Tosh, go ahead and start explaining the things that you're going to pull, what you're going to put together, so that way we could just do it here with you as well.
Good deal. So on a staple in Texas, and I'm sure it is in other places, but is Chamoy and Lucas. So Chamoy is kind of like the liquid version of Lucas, and Lucas is literally just like a chili powder. You can buy it from the store, or you can make it, both of them. So today, because New York doesn't really have that much Chamoy and Lucas, I had to make my own. Okay. You can find, I just found it off of the internet, simple recipes. So you're gonna rim your glass with the liquid first. Now I like to leave a little bit of opening so that when you're sipping it, you don't just have this ring of looking like the Joker, that ring of red.
Pop rocks on your mouth, yes. Okay.
Exactly. So you rim your glass. That is the chamoy.
Oh, that's pretty. You did that first with lemon. You wet it with the lemon. Is that what that was? The liquid?
No, that was the chamoy.
The chamoy. Okay. We were right in. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So then you put your powder, your chili powder on the rim. So it's kind of like the equivalent of lime, rimming a lime juice, and then the salt for the margarita. This is just like a spicy kind of version of that.
You're making my mouth water. To all my people out there with awesome. The Lucas and the chamoy, that definitely makes my mouth water. I love it.
It's really good on fruits and veggies and stuff. You can cook with it. Makes a really good snack. So now we have our Sriracha. Now be very careful with this because it is very hot. If you put too much, it's going to be really spicy. But that's the beauty of it. You can put a lot if you like spicy, or just a little bit if you just want that little bit of taste. So Sriracha to your preference.
Is to add a little bit because you can always add more heat later, right?
Exactly. Okay. And then the same with the honey. However sweet you might want it.
Okay, so you're just eyeballing it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. That's the beauty of craft drinks. Once you get it down to a science, or you have a certain container that you always use it out of, you get the measurements kind of under your hand. Okay. But if you're just kind of going with the flow, then it's a lot of fun. Okay. So then I use mango puree as well. Now I had to make my own. So literally just fresh mango, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of water to make sure it blends up nice and smooth.
Okay.
A little bit of that.
Look, you're very creative. If you don't have it, you figure it out and you say, I'll make it myself.
Absolutely.
A lot of us have the luxury of going places and getting it, but if we need to take it back to the basis, you can always pull out your blender, pull out whatever, and make it yourself. Okay, perfect.
Absolutely. So here we just have some mango schnapps, just to add a little bit more mango flavor.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're a total bartender. I like that. Up and the down. Okay, and what's that?
And then yes. So this is rum, but you can use vodka, rum, gin, whatever liquor you really want to use. I tend to stick with clears again because brown is a little bit more difficult to mix. But yeah, just Bacardi rum.
Okay, so now I have to ask, you are such a professional that you just literally just pour and go, right? But for the people or our viewers or someone, especially like myself, what exactly is that? Is that equivalent to like a shot size of pouring?
Yes.
For those people that measure, is it like a 4 ounce, 6 ounce? What would you say? Because you're an eyeballer.
Rule of thumb, no drink should have more than 2 shots of alcohol in it. And that's for, especially in Texas, when you're bartending, that's how they say it. No, it's illegal to put more than that. You can have a double shot drink with a shot on the side, but you can't serve it with all 3 shots already prepared.
Okay.
So really, if you don't want to measure, that you can get a shot glass and just pour it in there. Boom, there's 1 shot.
Okay.
Otherwise,
can you count like 1 second, 2 second, or some people may count slower than others?
That's another thing. That's where it gets kind of tricky. It depends on how fast and slow you count. It depends on the type of pour spout that you use. So these are speed pours. So they're silver tips. They don't have that little ball thing in it. Some pour spouts actually have a ball that will stop at a certain count, at a certain, like I think it's 1 ounce or a quarter, half an ounce, or it just kind of varies. So you can also get those if you're just starting out, especially to get your measurements right and your timing and all that kind of stuff. They also have handy dandy glasses that have measurements on them, or you can get a jigger, Jigger, and it's double-ended. And one of them has like an ounce, the other one has a quarter of an ounce. It just depends on which one you get.
Nice. Okay. So you guys that are watching, be careful. And if you count, I'd rather you guys count fast and not slow. Not with the Mississippi.
Exactly.
Not 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Let's not do that because we just want
way too slow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So then I'm just going to add a little bit of lemonade just for a mixer. So it's not straight alcohol. And then you shake.
Oh. Do you do a dance with it or no?
Now, with drinks that have thick substances like the honey, you're going to want to make sure that you shake it really well so that it's not all sitting at the bottom and you don't get the flavor throughout the drink.
Okay. So when you guys see your bartenders and they're really, you see a bunch, some are just like, shake, 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 like their whole body's moving, right? And you're just like, it's not that serious, right? I've looked back and I'm like, it's really not that serious. No, really, it is. Because if we're talking about honey, which is a little bit thicker in consistency, now I get why they do so much shaking over there.
Exactly. And again, sometimes it is a little bit overkill because who wants a watered down drink, right? Rule of thumb for margaritas, shake it 2, maximum 3 times, and you're good. It's not a whole lot of mixing. So it's just, at that point, it's just more for the show, like boom, boom, pour.
Okay, so next time I go to the bar, I'm going to count how many times they shake. And I would say, ma'am or sir, you did too much. Right. That's crazy. Okay. Awesome. So where are we? And for those non-alcoholic drinkers, Tosh, instead of the rum, what could they add? Or they just don't add anything. They just do all the rest of the ingredients.
Right. All the rest of the ingredients.
Perfect.
So that's another benefit of having like the fruit puree. I didn't have to put that, but it adds more of that flavor so that if you're not using alcohol, then you can use a mango nectar, a mango drink, like any, like the powder mix, whatever, so that you still have that mango flavor in there without the alcohol.
Okay. Perfect.
So what I just threw in there was a simple garnish, chunk of mango, chunk of pineapple, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Okay. Are you going to pour this? Oh, you already poured it. Wow. You are speedy.
That is it.
Beautiful face. I love the way that looks. The martini glass, it has a good color. I wish I could try it, to be quite honest, but because we are in COVID quarantine, we do have to do everything virtual. Now, we do have a couple of comments for you, Tosh. I have Darren saying, never thought these ingredients would make such a delicious drink. Thank you for the lesson, Tosh.
Absolutely.
And then I have Giselle saying, my mouth is watering. I'm going to make this. I agree. I literally should have been prepared for this because I wish I just couldn't take that drink on. Awesome. So now we're going to switch it, right? Are you going to see?
Yes.
Okay, we're doing another drink. Okay, tell us about the next drink and what ingredients are going to be needed for this one.
So this next drink, you're going to need watermelon, any flavor, whether it's the juice or the alcohol, basil, you're going to need lime, and simple syrup. Okay.
So basil, lime, and I like to call it watermelon. You better get your watermelon.
Watermelon.
Yes, we gotta be fun around here, guys. There's a lot of seriousness outside these 4 walls, so we just have to bring it a little bit to life. That's awesome. So you're doing kind of a summer splash feel. Is kind of what I'm feeling out of this. Is that correct?
Yes.
With watermelon.
Yes. So like I said, the first one was called the Sweet Fire Martini. And this one I call one sophisticated pucker because it uses watermelon pucker.
Yeah. Okay. So now go pull another cup out because we're going to make this one together.
Yes.
And is there any, again, I'm going to ask the same question, any substitute? So if someone doesn't like watermelon, can they use melon? Can they use pineapple? Like what could be the substitute for that one?
Absolutely. Any melon, think of fruits that you might pair with basil, because if you're gonna put basil in the drink, the flavors have to play well together. You can pair anything with lime, but the basil is what makes it sophisticated. So just whether it's pineapple or melon or peach or mango, anything that you might feel tastes good with basil, then you're good to go.
You said sophisticated, so I might just throw basil on everything over here.
But you have to do it.
But look, like honestly, yeah, just a little bit. But that is a challenge though, Tosh, because basil, I honestly would not pair it up with fruit. So that is a good challenge if you're at home to really try to play a good game of the taste game with basil. So I love how you kind of put that point on there. So just to be safe, let's just use watermelon today. Yeah. Okay, so tell us how you're going to make this one.
So I'm going to take fresh basil leaves, drop them in, and it really depends on how fresh they smell and how much you want to taste the basil. If you want it just kind of be there in the background, or if you want it in your face when you take that sip. Also, another thing is, this goes with mint leaves or any kind of greenery. If you twist it a little bit, you don't have to tear it. Just twist it to really release the essence of it and the oils that are in the leaves. That brings out the flavor a little more, and you'll be able to smell it once you twist it and kind of break those nerves. Then you'll be able to smell it even more.
Okay, this is great little knowledge. I always see that happening because I'm a watcher. But right. I didn't know what the point of that is. So that's great. And I mean, you could even apply that also to some of the foods that you used to, just kind of knowing that trick, that it just really releases a little bit more of the flavors. Okay. And so what's this that you're pouring now?
Simple syrup. Again, sugar water. I have this in the fridge already, so we're using it. But if you don't have it, don't go out and buy it. I promise you probably have some sugar and some water in your pantry.
Okay. So
we've got our simple syrup and our basil in here so far. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a muddler, and I'm really going to release all that basil flavor into the simple syrup. Now, a trick to muddling is you don't want to put too much liquid to where the leaves are just kind of floating around the tool. So you want to put just a little bit of liquid, whether it's simple syrup or a liquor or a juice or whatever, and you're just going to want to crush them up. You don't want to shred them, but you just want to press them and get that flavor out of them.
Okay, so you're a professional. Remember that. So you say crush, okay? So are we crushing to what level are we crushing? Just chunky crush or like small?
Not even that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There's still going to be solid leaves. Some pieces might break off because, again, you're twisting and you're pushing down. And if for those of you who aren't familiar with the muddler, it's got that tip on it right there. It's kind of like a meat tenderizer.
If they don't have that at home, what else could they use to do the same little effect, would you think?
It might be a little more difficult and it might have to take a little more time, but you can use a spoon and just really just mush it down. Again, it's not to shred anything. It's not to crumble anything. In here, it's the leaves are still, I don't know if y'all can see it, but they're still whole. They're still a little whole. So yeah, again, that just releases the flavor. So then
that kind of reminds me of like a mojito, right? A mojito.
Exactly.
Okay. We're on the same page.
It's the same process for mojitos. It's if you're ever looking for one, just make sure the tip looks like a meat tenderizer. That hammer that you hit your chicken or your pork chops or your ribs or whatever with, that's the same kind of concept at the tip.
Okay. For those of you guys that cook, that just made all the sense in the world for me. Got it.
Yeah. So now I have here some watermelon vodka.
Okay.
Again, it doesn't have to be Smirnoff. It can be any brand. I'm used to, especially for the mango rum, I was used to using Cruzan, however you want to say it. But I couldn't find it. So I found Bacardi.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got your vodka.
That was 2 seconds.
On a speed pour.
Yeah.
And then watermelon pucker, which is, it's low alcohol content. It's really mostly just for flavor, but to still add a little bit of alcohol in it.
Okay, so while you're pouring that, I know you poured a watermelon flavor vodka. However, a regular vodka is fine. It's just the flavored one really captivates the actual flavor of the drink. So you want a more watermelon-y, you want to go ahead and add some of that. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. And again, if you don't have, so for some people, this might be watermelon overkill. So if they had just plain vodka, then they could use the watermelon pucker and still have that watermelon in it. Or if you don't have watermelon pucker, you can use the watermelon vodka and maybe get like a watermelon juice or something like that if you still wanted a little bit of extra watermelon. So you can really kind of play with whatever you have in your kitchen or your personal bar.
And adjust to your taste buds too, because if you like that taste, go all in. If you don't, push back a little bit more. Okay, so you really do need to know your clients. That's why all this now is making sense. Okay.
Exactly. So what I just did there was just squeeze some lime juice. That's all it was, just regular lime juice. Okay. So yeah, we're about ready to shake.
Shake. Okay, 3-time shake, right? 3 shakes. All right.
This one I'll give it 4.
Oh, and you put ice in there.
Yes. So a lot of bartenders pour over ice. So they put the ice in the tin and then they add other contents. I personally don't like doing that, especially if I have to muddle something. To me, it's kind of like a mind thing. It waters the drink down before I even get it, which again, with too much shaking, can do the exact same thing.
Okay.
So it's really just preference. But yeah. So quick shake.
Okay.
Now with this one,
I want to watch you pour. Can you show us pouring a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there is a little bit of a talent when it comes to the pouring too. I'm going to tell you because I tried it myself and I made a mess.
Well, with this one, I'm going to cheat a little bit, but also I'm going to make sure that you don't have a whole lot of basil leaves in your drink. Wow. So what this is called is double straining. So we have our first strainer here, and this has a lot of different uses. But if you don't want to use the tin and strain it like that, then you can always use this. It keeps all the ice out of your drink, and you're good to go. A lot of people use it for shots, especially when the tin is completely full. So what I'm going to do is I put it on the top like that. Maybe make sure you put your finger here to brace it.
Okay.
And then this is what makes it double straining. It's just a fine mesh wire strainer. Okay. It's got a longer stem, mostly used for bartending, but you can find it. It's kind of like the strainer that's used for fruits and veggies when you're rinsing them off or your pasta or whatever, just in very small form for glasses. Right?
Got it. Okay. Wow.
So
you really have to be able to hold everything over there. Okay.
Now, normally,
the glass is sitting down. You have a spill, okay? Okay, let's go. We got this.
And you just pour into it.
Oh, you make that look so easy. Okay. Okay, so now for those people, there's a lot of people that are very texture type of people. So you are kind of straining it. What if they do like the texture? Could they leave some of the basil leaf?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, and so you see, for those of you that don't like texture, you see all that little bit that it caught. Otherwise, all that will be floating around in your drink.
Okay.
So if you don't like floaty stuff, you can double strain it. If you do, by all means, pour away.
Nice. So these recipes, for those of you guys that are at home right now, could be for girls' night at the house, date night, dinner, birthday dinners, even celebrations. I know right now during quarantine, we have to get really creative. So we just gave you 2 recipes, and you don't even have to say that you got it from us, but just go and tell your friends those recipes. So now, Tash, are you going to try those drinks, or do you have someone
Absolutely.
that's going to try?
I'm going to try one, and my friend Lola's going to try one here.
Okay.
So right now, just so you know, guys, this is straight alcohol.
Okay.
Now, you can mix it up. I've got some watermelon juice here, little splash of that. And then I've also got some guava.
Oh, you mixed it. Okay. It wasn't done. Okay. We jumped the gun. Okay.
And then I'm going to put myself a garnish of lime, watermelon, and basil.
You're fancy. Okay.
Boom. Let those marinate so at the end you have a treat.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay.
Cheers, guys.
So I actually want to hear from your friend on that drink, which is the martini. They could just give a rate 1 to 10, 10 being the best, because you're going to say you got a 10, Tash, right? You made the drinks from your friend.
10 across the board. It's
okay. 10 across the board, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys have the pass to definitely get these recipes. We do have a comment from Trevor saying, exactly what I love, working from home. So silly.
Exactly.
Love it. Awesome. So, Tasha, thank you for making those drinks. I cannot wait to go into the kitchen and whip some up as well myself. I know the viewers right now are actually getting a head start of me, but that is fine. That's what we're doing it for. Before we're not even done with the show, but a lot of you guys are on the show today because we like to not only give great drinks to you guys, but also prizes. So today's the day, Tasha, I don't know if you know, but we are doing the giveaway for Heroic Behavior. Have you heard of
it? Yeah, actually, I heard it from y'all, and I was so upset that I missed the deadline to enter, but I'm super excited to see who did win.
Yeah, so look, you are probably just like some of our viewers. Don't worry, we do this every single month. So this month in particular, we did 30 days to fitness. So we're going to give you guys a whole package with bands, yoga ball, jump rope, workout outfit, yoga mat, headphones, and even a month workout guide from your one and only, your host, Madi B. So it's a lot of stuff. I know with quarantine, everyone's kind of working out. So this is a great way to get back into the basics and just work on your temple, which is your body. So I think we're ready to kind of see who the winner is. But before doing that, you guys only have to do 4 simple things. You have to like the actual picture, like our Facebook page, share it, and tag someone you know. 4 things. And guess what, guys? It's absolutely free. No big deal.
Yes.
Exactly, right? That's the best part right here.
Exactly.
That 4-letter word. So if you guys have any questions also about nutrition, please send us a message. We do have some recommendations on nutrition as well. If you guys are getting that healthy lifestyle back into gear, we definitely want to help you out and be right there alongside with you. So let's take a look at this quick video to see who the winner is. Yay! Congratulations! It goes to Sean J. Conway. So congratulations to you. Oh my gosh.
Congrats, Sean.
Isn't that great? That's super cool. And you can work out from home. We're going to send everything to your house and have a great way. So congratulations for those of you guys. If you are like Tosh and you're like, I'm bummed I didn't get to do it. No worries. August is right around the corner. What is it? And it's Saturday already. Oh
yeah, already.
Gosh.
Where's this year going?
Where has it gone? My goodness, I blinked and we're in August 1st. That is crazy.
Right.
So you guys just go out there on our Facebook page and make sure you look out for the August giveaway of Heroic Behavior. You will not be disappointed in the gift at all. So before we wrap up the show, I always like to go back to our special guest, which Tosh, you've been amazing today. Not only did you tell us about your life with the bartending, what it took, what you're doing, how you're getting creative, you also created 2 awesome drinks that we're going to definitely put into action. So if you had to tell our viewers one last thing or leave them with any words of wisdom, positive advice, what would you tell the viewers that are watching right now?
Smile. That is one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself, you can give to another person. Just keep smiling. I know times are hard right now. You have to take time for yourself. Do not deny yourself that time to really heal from whatever you've gone through in the past 5 minutes or the entire day or this past year. Take time to reflect on yourself. This is the perfect time when you can't be around anybody else. So just keep smiling, guys. Keep your head up. Have a couple drinks. And just remember, sugar and spice makes everything nice.
Hey,
so
there
get yourself
you go.
A little something, have yourself some time, and just keep smiling, guys. Just keep your heads up and keep smiling.
I love that, Tosh. Thank you so much for that. And you're right. Smiling is super, super contagious. You never know. Just even on your social media, posting a picture of you with a big smile could really brighten someone's day that's just scrolling and having a really tough time. Although we did have a really fun show, we do want to recognize that it is tough times. There's a lot of sad news around us. There's a lot of things happening. We wanted to kind of alleviate some of that news and go on the fun route and kind of just brighten your day and your horizon. So That's a great advice, Tosh, that you gave to our viewers. Smiling. When you don't have anything left, you still have that, and that is a smile. So I love that. So I want to thank you, Tosh, for being on the show today and just showing all of us a little bit about your world. I want to thank all of you guys for watching and tuning in. And I want to thank you guys for sharing the show. The more you share, the more we get to touch other lives and the more we get to educate on just mixing some great fun drinks. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Talk to Me Tuesday on a Tuesday with your host, Mari B. Until next time.
Bye, guys.